Hey guys, welcome to slashff episode 4. So we're back. We're recording this on February 5th, 2019. It is after the second week of NALCS and the third week of LEC. Joining me today are the usual guys, Will and Michael. How you guys been?
Pretty good.
Yeah,
Besides my solo queue adventures, but pretty good besides that.
yeah, same.
Oh yeah, how's solo queue, boys?
0 and
Game
12.
losing streak, baby. Let's get it.
Same. I was on a 5-game
Oh,
loss
actually,
streak.
no. I won a game earlier.
I was on a 5-game loss streak.
I was at 10-game total losing streak between normals and ring.
Jeez, dude, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's great.
I had a 0 and 12 Katarina tank top lane, 2 and 14 Jinx, 4 and 16 Zoe, all over separate games. It was a
I had a team choose not to remake. That was cool.
Really?
dude.
When our jungler was not AFK the whole time, and then we got stomped.
Chose not to remake. Holy shit.
And then my Garen ran bot lane, and he said he was going to become the jungler without smite. It was awesome.
Ugh.
It was a free loss.
That's exquisite, dog.
Legit, one person had to say yes besides me, and all three of them said no. It was tragic.
Yikes.
Dude, that's a big thonk right there.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, so there's actually no LPL or LCK for the next week or so because they're on New Year's break. So yeah, they're gonna start back up next Wednesday, so on the 14th or something along those lines. So no updates regarding LCK and LPL. But yeah, LEC and LCS were pretty exciting this week. We'll start off with the Like My Balls section because
Did we talk about? Wait, was Griffin SKT last week?
yeah, it was last
Yeah, it was
week.
last
I mean,
week.
there's not much to really talk about too either.
I mean, LCK is going as expected at the moment.
Well,
Yeah,
Kingzone
Griffin.
is fourth tied
Kings
for
are my
third.
Yeah.
boys, dude. Deft is
Kingzone's-
carrying these bunch of dead corpses across the finish.
I don't know
line.
Dude,
how
have you watched their
that-
game? Their
yeah.
games are Crown Fiesta as fuck.
Yeah, dude. Deft is a G, dude. He's solo carrying.
LCK
Him and-
just looks
him
like
and
fucking
Cuz.
shit right now.
No,
Griffin looks like the only
it's
team that's
Deft and
competent.
Cuz. Deft and Cuz are carrying that roster, and it's not even really Cuz. It's just Deft, and then Cuz is not messing up.
All right. Well, anyways, let's move on to LEC. Fnatic, they almost lost to Rogue, but HeQ is boosted as fuck.
Reckless
Yeah.
is back, baby.
Dude, how is EQ an LCS starter when Hjarnen's not? Like, that blows my mind.
Yeah, I don't know if he was like really nervous or something.
You
but,
gotta invest in the youth.
just because this is the only Rogue game I've actually seen was him playing against Fnatic, but it just looked like he wasn't confident enough to position himself as Vayne like in the team fight. And Vayne's like a fairly mid to short range AD carry, so if you're gonna pick that champion, you really do need to be in there and be confident with using your Q and ult to like get full potential out of the champion.
I just don't get the pick because you're putting a guy who averages, he's always 28 or so CS down at 15, and you're putting him on one of the worst early game, like lane winning champions in Vayne, and he's just getting shoved in by Kaisa, and you're just giving Reckless what he needs. It just doesn't make sense from.
I did think it was funny the whole Reckless is back, but it's like, dude, he played
The
against
Reckless
the
was
worst
back
AD
thing was such a good meme because I kept spamming yesterday to my friends because I mean not yesterday but on Sunday, oh no Saturday was on Saturday because the second game Reckless just got stomped again and they died 3 times bot lane.
Yeah.
He just starts screaming Reckless is back. It's like, bro, he's going against HeQ and going against Rogue and he's up like 100 farm on HeQ right now. He's got all items. Of course he's gonna get a penta. Like they just let him last it. Like come on.
The worst part is I don't even think Rogue's that bad of a team, to be honest. Like looking at their lineup, I thought Prophet was pretty good. I thought
It's
Senkik's,
Prophet and Kikis, and
like
Senkik's
Prophet,
trying to do something.
yeah, Senkik's like is pretty like decent. Wadid,
They have
still
no bot lane
decent.
at all.
Like
Who's the bot laner for? Who's the
It's-
support
It's
for them?
Hiki and Wadid.
Wadid. But the thing is, like,
Man.
Wadid is still like, you know what I mean? Like, he's like the Olay of
Yeah.
G2. But it's like he could still be, I don't think he's dog shit. I don't think he's.
They need
like,
a new AD carry.
Forgive it. No, I'm kidding.
They need to do the 10-man roster like all these other teams are doing. They need to sub someone in.
Yeah. Well,
I hear there's a
They should
Greek,
bring over Arrow.
I hear there's a Greek
Nothing's in the
ADC.
arrow.
I hear there's a Greek ADC gonna be done with his service.
yeah, dude, he's
when
gonna be
next
done with
month.
his service in February or some shit, and then he's gonna
Yeah.
be back in summer split. Forgiven's coming back for his Lane Kingdom. Perks better watch out.
Is
Yeah, that'll be a hype as fuck matchup. And Forgiven's like half as good as
is
he
he
was
even
when he
on a
left.
team though?
No, he's still in the
he's,
military.
He's in military.
Well, yeah, no,
service
but
now.
like, is it even like known that he's going to come back?
I have no idea. Last team he played for was H2K in 2016. Yeah.
Guaranteed he'll be picked up. I'm 100%
Well,
sure
that's-
he'll be
I
picked
don't
up
know
by a
if-
team.
Well, he'd probably be picked up. I don't know if he's gonna play though.
In summer, I think he'll play.
We'll see.
Unless he's, I haven't seen anything that says that he's gonna play though.
He's already announced that he's returning in summer, so.
Oh, he did. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
No, we'll see.
That's-
I'm pretty sure.
I didn't know if he
like,
said
he
he's
looks like the guy who wants to play. So.
Yeah.
Bring him in. Bring him in. Replace EQ.
Because like,
Misfits-
Hugh Rogue is actually a respectable team.
So what was also hilarious this weekend was when in the hype video for Fnatic versus Misfits, it was like Soaz versus Bwipo, right? And in the video, Bwipo was just like, "Oh, if Soaz plays like the rest, then I'll beat him." And then Perks just tweets out, "Bro, if Soaz plays like the rest, you'll lose, because Bwipo has been losing to the rest."
Yeah. Bwipo got solo killed twice against Poppy this season, and then he got bodied by Soaz.
Dude, I fucking love Perk's Twitter. Perk's
Yeah, I
Twitter is
love
the
all of
greatest
G2.
thing.
Perks, Ocelot, they're fucking hilarious, dog. I love G2. It's so funny. Like, at MSI, as tragic as it is, like, I don't like EU fans, but I kind of want to see G2 do well just because I fucking, like, the G2 players are fucking funny. Oh, God. Anyways, yeah, so that was a fun little thing. Vitality, Jizuke, getting the insane like LeBlanc, he he pretty much
Jizuke
solo
played
won that.
really well.
He said, "Fuck it, let me go split push," and he like pretty much
Yeah.
solo won that game. That was pretty crazy. But I don't know. Like LEC, I feel like is playing out as expected. The trend with Origin is that they're still not doing very well right now.
Yeah.
But
He can't bio in.
yeah, I mean, do you guys have any like big thoughts on LEC? Because I mean, there's just some things I like. They're only the exciting stuff that I saw.
I don't think there's
Oh.
anything that like pressing in LEC right now.
Yeah.
I do think
Okay. Go ahead.
I do
sorry.
think Upset is becoming one of the best AD carries in the world though.
Oh,
He's
yeah?
insane.
Yeah.
If you
Schultz
watch
was
him
impressive
play,
me.
last season, last split, he had the most damage permitted of anyone in the game, and this season he's just continuing even more. Like he's miles above the next closest. Like he deals so much damage in fights.
I think Shulka's impressing me, and I think Vitality, as you said, Jizuke impressed me, but Cabachard on that Urgot game really impressed me because they were supposed to play that Vitality comp wanted to play through bot lane, but Cabachard basically took over that game. I think let me double check where they were playing against really quick. LEC string.
I think the only things that aren't playing out or as expected was Origin. I think was a little overhyped going into the season, so people thought they were probably gonna do a little better. I think Excel is defying expectations, and I think Fanatics is underperforming. Like
Underperforming, or are they just like?
I think it's Vitality. I think it's
I
Vitality.
think they're just underperforming. I don't think they're like mechanically bad or like anything. I think their macro is just not on point. Like they're forcing. I think Whippo's
The thing
not
is,
very
they
good.
still have Young Buck, and to my knowledge, like I know they lost Dylan Falco, but Dylan Falco is mostly the draft guy, right? So I don't know
Yeah.
what happened in Fnatic because I thought Young Buck was like.
Dylan Falco's on Schalke.
I know that's what I mean. It's like,
Shulka's doing well, so like
Yeah.
maybe.
but see, that's what I mean. I thought Young Buck was gonna be like was still like the guy in charge of getting everything in game in order, like their macro and stuff. So I don't know
Yeah.
what happened.
They're just so tilted coming off of the loss at Worlds.
Yeah, I mean,
They can't handle it.
no, I mean really though, actually.
No more. Yeah, it's just they
The
beat-
funny thing is, like everyone thought that if the team was gonna do bad, it was gonna be Nemesis that was the problem. It's Whippo and Hillisang.
Well, Hillisang, okay, I will say
Hillisang played
is-
well this weekend.
I will say though, Hillisang always kind of looks like he kind of looks like Afro, where he either like fucking ints or he like does well. So
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
he is-
Helsing's
Well-
feast or famine from like what we've been seeing so far.
The thing is with teams like that, and like traditional sports, it's the same way. Like you can be seen as like a good player because you're surrounded by good players. It's like people on on basketball teams. Like you could have a guy who's like everyone's like, wow, this guy's great, but then you put him on another team, it's just like, wow, he's actually not that good. It's just because he was on a good team and a good system.
It's like Bangi on SKT.
Oh,
and then he went
yeah,
to
but when
China
that
and got
team-
relegated.
But when that team loses, it really shows out that he's a weaker link on that roster.
Yeah, like Blank on
When they're
SKT.
'Cause when Fnatic was winning, they're like, "Oh my God, Hillisang's Pike is ridiculously good. Look at him go." and then you watch him play Morgana. Well, not this weekend, so Morgana was good, but you watched him play Morgana in week 1, and he'd like walk up like he was playing Alistar and just get caught out all the time.
Yeah, when Team Liquid was winning, Ole might be the 3rd best support in NALCS, and then on Golden Guardians, oh shit, this guy's fucked.
Ole's is bad.
Oh yeah. Okay. Anything else on LEC? I just
Nothing much, honestly.
because I feel like
LAC was pretty dry this week.
it's mostly as expected. We got some good memeage, but
Expected? Excel
No,
esports?
no, but yeah, everything pretty standard, I would say. So I mean, I guess let's move on to LCS then.
That's all that matters, baby.
Yeah, we're the only major region, so it's like it's whatever. NA, USA, I am white. Anyways, so where do you guys want to start with LCS?
We want to go top
CLG
down or-
going 2-0?
Sure. I mean, okay. Before people say like, "Oh, CLG saying they're the worst team," that's an overreaction. Bullshit. I say bullshit. That is not an overreaction based on week 1. All right, let me present my argument.
I mean, Stixay did admit they were the worst team.
Yeah, I saw the interviews, but I also before I saw those, I had my own opinion on this. Was that I don't care that they lost 0-2. It was the fact that like the way they played in game, they looked very disconnected, and that's still what I feel like with GGS right now. So it's not that GGS is 0-4, it's that their in-game play just looks uncoordinated, and that's how CLG looked in week 1. So anyone who says like everyone overreacted when CLG went 0-2 week 1, it was not an overreaction. It was actually legitimate because the way they looked was complete poop. And they turned it around this week because they actually looked better. It wasn't just like they lucked into free wins. It looked like they proactively actually like made steps to improve. So I do not think it was an overreaction called.
It's almost like they put Darshan on something he could succeed on, like a tank.
Wait, there was a funny comment from Darshan on he said like, "Oh, you'll be seeing more of the Zion Spartan play style." Yeah, and then people were like, "Wait, what the fuck? But you look better on Scion this week." And I was just like, "Dude, it's more like the Scion Spartan, am I right?" All right. Anyways, but yeah.
They beat Cloud9. Who else did they beat this week? Was it FlyQuest? Yeah, it was FlyQuest.
Oh yeah, it was FlyQuest.
Yeah.
Did you guys
They won.
did you guys see the CLG video they released today with
I
like
did
the
not.
Darshan calls? It was
No.
it was pretty funny. It was just like his CLG teammates, everyone but PoE, like talking about him, and it was like there was like some moments where you're like, wow, these are like they're really like pulling to try to find some good things to say about him because they were like reaching the bottom. Like they didn't put Power of Evil there. They had one of their academy players in the video, but like, yeah. Have you guys seen the video of Darshan singing?
No. I
No.
Oh, it is rough, dude. Like he has like an actual cover, and like he's not terrible, but it's not like good.
It's not. It's just not a quality video. Like.
Yeah, you should watch it though, cause it's actually really funny.
Yeah,
'Cause he sings a song that's not in his vocal range at all.
Man, CLG. I am excited though to see how they do because I did think like going into it, they're at least I like Power of Evil, so I was hoping they would do well. And,
I thought on paper they would be a really good.
And I
team.
want free food from Michael for me and Will when he has to event buy us food. Oh, was it CLG? Was it make semis?
Yeah, it was made semis.
Fuck, that means they have to be top 4 though. That's
Yeah.
difficult. I thought it was make playoffs. Damn.
Nope, it was made. All our bets are made semis except for Optic.
Well, speaking
ignore
of
that topic
speaking
this
of
week.
Optic,
We're gonna move on from
no,
Optic this
speaking
week.
of Optic, they're
on
still
Chinese New
playing.
Year.
They're
No,
What
we're
a-
on Chinese New
what?
Year, we can talk.
speaking of Optic, they're still on the academy roster for the most part.
Yeah.
Poor
1-1 this week.
Except
Mitos got
with
benched
Dokla.
again.
Dokla is playing though.
Oakland showed up though.
Yeah. Dokla showed up. Indian
That triple
top
kill
laner.
Fatuni so hard.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That fucking that.
Dude, I feel so bad for Meteos. That dude can't get a job. Like,
Yeah.
he thought he was gonna be the starter, and no.
Get Dardocked.
Does any team? Oh, did you guys watch the? This might be a little off topic, but it has to do with Dardock. Did you guys watch the Echo Fox content they released this week?
I did
No,
not.
I haven't.
They had one of the segments where they were trying to find where to deal Dardock to, and they wanted to send him to TSM.
Oh, that's
Rick
probably
Fox,
where the rumors happened.
Rick Fox and the head guy, literally in the video, were talking about sending him to TSM.
That's
So
probably
but
where
they
rumors
couldn't work out a deal with TSM for him.
Yeah, that's probably why rumors surfaced about TSM.
Yeah,
so
but
they-
I thought it was a really interesting part of the video because their logic kind of like threw me off a little bit because they're like, we don't want to send him to a team that's. I guess you could look at it in two ways, but they're like, I guess we don't want to send him to a team that's already good. We want to send him to a team that's already good and not a team that's bad because they don't want to make another team better.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it kind of doesn't make sense.
Should have sent Dardock to Golden Guardians.
But what's the like? I feel like if you send it to a team that's worse, then it's just like, wow, they got like one good player. It doesn't mean they're like God Squad. But if you give them TSM and like in their eyes, if they think they're that good, then you just have no chance to compete. Then like I don't know.
Well,
I feel like that logic's really messed up. But.
so in regards to Optic though, they pulled out the Rumble mid and Crown played it well.
With Dark Harvest.
That was interesting. I still don't agree with Dark Harvest. I think Common is better. But Crown played well. Optic, so they beat Echo Fox, but or not Echo Fox. Sorry, they beat Clutch, but they lost to Echo Fox, right? Which initiates the circle of suck once more, because Echo Fox lost to Clutch, Clutch lost to Optic, Optic lost to Echo Fox. So now you have the circle of suck again. Fucking NA, dude. Every time we get this fucking shit where we have a circle of suck going on. To be honest though,
none of them lost to GGS though yet.
That is true.
Dude, we have every team's like 3 through 8 right now. Literally like it's number 1, number 2, 3 through 8, 9 and 10. This is the score line, which is pretty ridiculous.
But who's 1 and 2? The boys.
Wait, what?
Liquid and Blackwest, baby. Let's go.
Fuck you, Immortals.
Top 2 teams being carried by Immortals players. Well, not carried, I guess.
The only Immortals player on TL is fucking Smithy now. What? Shut the fuck up.
Doesn't matter. Their coaching staff is Immortals.
Oh, okay. Immortals player Ole is on Golden Guardians. Immortals player Cody Sun is on Clutch Academy.
We're not talking about all
Immortals player Rainover doesn't have a team. Immortals player...
We're not talking about all the Immortals players. We're talking about the ones that matter.
Wait, you're saying Hooney and Rainover didn't contribute to that 17-1 season?
Hooney matters.
Rainover did a shit ton for them in that 17-1 season.
Rainover's bad.
You can't have recency bias and say, he's bad now. He was
Rainover
bad.
Rainover was bad.
Flame doesn't have a team.
Hey, man.
Yeah, hey, man. Yeah.
It's because they're not playing because they know Immortals isn't there. So they're like, I will stand by my organization.
God fucking.
Dardock doesn't count as Immortals.
Alright, anyways.
He was on Immortals for a season.
Anyways, let's get back to
Dardock doesn't count as any team. When you think Dardock, you don't think of any team because he's been on so many.
Dardock actually described himself literally as a mercenary in the local interview. He said, yeah, I'm a mercenary right now. I'll just play for whoever I can.
Him and Apollo, like, if you think of Apollo, you don't think of like a specific team because he's been on literally. You literally think of every team that's ever existed. I think of Big before I think of anything else.
Let's get back onto Optic. I think that I want to see how they do next week with Arrow in. But other than that, actually pretty hyped on this squad. I'm hoping they go positive.
I hope they go positive too. I really hope they go positive.
Like I see moments of brilliance from Optic.
Their macro was actually pretty solid. Like like just rewatching the game, their understanding of lane assignments was pretty good against Clutch.
Yeah, Crown knows what he's doing. Dardock still overreaching a bit, but I'm hoping to see Medios and Arrow play
that Rengar game.
How they do.
That Echo Fox game was weird because they just didn't do anything that game.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll put in
Medios? I think they will. Dardock said Medios was bodying him in scrims, and once Arrow gets his visa cleared, they'll probably try the main roster.
I feel like Dardock just wants to take the split off. Have you ever seen the show BMS?
No.
Oh, but it's basically about a guy who is a backup quarterback. He just wants to party and be on the team for like the ability to pick up women and like not to actually play. I feel like that's Dardock this season. Like he wants to be in the league so he can get money and play league for a living, but he doesn't want to be on Optic because he doesn't think they can win.
Glenn Raiders wants to teach at a Magic Academy, but he doesn't want to be a teacher. Anyways.
Yeah, I feel like he just does. I feel like he wanted to split it off at this point. He was like, Medios is a god. Look at him go.
All right, well, speaking of the circle of suck, let's get on to Echo Fox then. Rush on Lee Sin this week. Could not carry versus TSM because Echo Fox threw the fuck out of that game. Solo literally got a bunch of free. Yeah, Solo got a bunch of free gold. Yeah. Echo Fox threw the shit out of that.
Echo Fox was up that game.
I felt even they had the gold lead. I felt TSM was always in the driver's seat though.
Like, Echo Fox had a 5-1 lead.
Yeah, but
We'll see.
I
They
That's
had
still
what
think
5-1 lead and two. They had 5-1 lead and two
that's what I mean.
towers
I
up, and they
think
still
Echo
threw.
Fox threw fucking hard, dude.
Me and Jack were watching the game live, and I was like, "Where's Michael?" And then all of a sudden, I started throwing. I was like, "Never mind, Michael, don't come in. I don't want to talk to him anymore."
Did you want to talk to him during the FlyQuest
No.
game?
They legit fed. Oh yeah, I did want to talk to the time during the FlyQuest game because FlyQuest.
what was I doing Sunday? What was I
There
even
was
doing
leg-
that Sunday?
Jack, I remember the play that where you and I both said simultaneously the game's over. It's when they contested they went to the chickens and they thought that it was a 2v1, but it ended up being a 3v2.
Yeah.
And then the whole team
Yeah.
TP'd in and they just got aced.
Well, all
It
right.
was
So let
wrong.
me say.
Oh, to be fair, they're really smart using Nocturne ult to hide TPs
All right,
Yeah.
So I'll
and
say
hide
this.
the Ornn ult.
I think that Fox, I severely underrated them by saying they were 10th place, and beyond that is that their individual players, aside from solo, are actually pretty good. Phoenix has actually played well in every game I've watched him play so far, which is fucking surprising. I thought he would throw by now. Like I knew Phoenix was a strong laner and good mechanics, but I thought he would throw, and he hasn't yet.
He
like,
did throw.
Well, I mean, throw like super hard throw, like he
Okay.
instant lane,
Like, lose
throw.
the game,
like
for sure.
who he throw,
Gotcha.
like who he.
I see the definition.
Rush on Lee Sin, wow, he's fucking good. I see why people are hyped.
Yeah.
Apollo Haku play well. It's just they have moments where they're uncoordinated, but there's glimpses of hope for Echo Fox.
Yeah, if you're an Echo Fox fan, I would not feel bad about going 1-1 this week.
You know who I'd feel bad
I
about
don't feel
going
pretty
0-2
hopeful.
this week? Clutch Gaming. Let's go to Clutch, baby.
Dude, sad boy
So
hours.
my boys, I think DeMonte still played well this week. He tried.
It's
He got
Tanner.
that Tommy.
From high school.
Tanner time. I think Piglet did some weird ass shit this week.
I think we talked about how Pidley finished Iceborne Gauntlet before Mira Mana or Mana
No,
Mune.
no, that's fine. That's fine. A lot of Korean Ezreals do that. No, I just mean weird ass shit as in like he didn't do very much. For
The
some of
Caitlyn pick was
games.
weird to me. I don't know why you picked it for an
Okay,
ADC
the
in that
Caitlyn
situation.
pick, they wanted to invest everything in bot lane. They just failed miserably. So I don't know. It was interesting, but it's like I don't think it was necessary. And at the same, also, what was the other game they played? They lost to Echo Fox as well, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. That's Optic. Game 1.
That was this week.
that's-
Oh yeah, they lost
yeah.
Optic this week. Okay.
Don't let out the triple kill.
Yeah,
Raptors.
so they fought. Okay, so Lero had a really good moment when he was at the bottom scuttle, right, where he got free bottom scuttle.
Yeah.
But then he and Hooney, right, went to contest. Oh no, he and Demonte went to contest the red side Raptor,
Raptors. Yeah.
and then that fight got fucked. And Hooney came down, and then Sion got a triple kill. Once Sion gets a triple kill, it's fucking over for Jace. Hooney's trying to just stay in the game by building Bork, Last Whisper, and then he was trying to get a Black Cleaver after that. It's so fucked already, because now Sion has 3 kills. Your Jace is fucking worthless. Like,
I think he had Iceborne Gauntlet at like 8 minutes or
yeah,
something.
that straight up fucked the game after Dokla
Yeah.
had 3 kills, so it was like, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, okay, so Fox like had a really huge issue early game against Optic, or not Fox. I call them Fox because Hooney, but Clutch had a huge early game issue against Optic, and then I mean they lost to TL. I don't really care as much about that. Whenever a team loses to TL, it's like whatever.
It's expected.
But yeah, I mean, not much to say. I still have hope for Clutch, and I'm hoping they make third
100
Thieves finally got the first win against Golden Guardians.
Guardians.
Yeah,
Wow,
that
100 Thieves
was-
promoted to gold from silver.
But talking about gold, just talking about the 100T game versus Liquid, that was hilarious. Hyping up the
The yard top.
no, they were hyping
Wait.
the bang double lift
Sunday
matchup.
did so much that game with Yorick, and
I
their
know.
team still
Yeah.
didn't do shit.
But they hyped up the bang double lift matchup and then probably gives him Victor. And it was
Oh,
just
did
like,
you see the pregame interview? Oh, why
Yeah.
is Bang on Victor? Because he's better. He dies in lane.
bro, what's with all these teams picking Victor right now? Like, it's just not good. It's just like everyone that plays Victor, I feel like it's the NA Jace meme is turning into NA Victor.
I mean,
Like,
it doesn't even work in Korea, which is the worst part. Like Korea does it, and so don't
Yeah.
do
I
well.
don't care about the TL game again. I care about the Golden Guardians game, where it looked like 100 Thieves still didn't know what they were doing, and Sunday and Bang had to carry them by winning the Baron fight.
Definitely through that game. Why the fuck did he ult into Bang?
Yeah, definitely ulted into Bang. All his frontliners were in the Baron pit, and then definitely dies. And I was like, oh, okay. And then Someday steals Baron. I was like, all right, that's fucking interesting. But like, this shows to me, I actually lose confidence from 100 Thieves because of this
If they
game.
couldn't stomp.
'Cause-
Golden
yeah,
Guardians.
how the Okay, God, just the only people that game that felt useful was not Bang Early. Bang Early still didn't feel useful. It was Someday and then later on Bang. That's legit. Like that was that game, and that
What about your boy Huhi though?
he's not my boy. I don't fucking
Yeah,
listen.
sub-
but he
sub
tanked all
Ryu
those
back.
Lissandra ults for his
Ryu
team.
back in. Get
He
Ryu
ta-
back in the lineup.
He tanked all the Lissandra and
Dude,
Nocturne ults for his
Ryu.
team.
God, I'm not a fan of either.
Ryu's worse.
That could have been
I shout
Pobelter
you
on that
now.
team. That could have been Pobelter.
Pobelter. You see Pobelter steal that Baron with the smite pickup.
Okay, I rewatched it. That was an RNG
All right,
pickup.
we'll get to TSM and
Nah.
FlyQuest eventually. Let's do
Lit,
100
dude.
Thieves. Do 100 Thieves.
Yeah.
I have very little hope for 100 Thieves, and they dropped to like barely making playoffs for me now. They're like contends for 7th.
Do you think
place
Echo
pretty
Fox
much.
has a better chance of making playoffs than they do at the
I
moment?
well no, that's what I mean. They're like contending in that area, like the Echo
Yeah.
Fox 100 Thieves band kind of.
I think Update actually looks better than 100 Thieves at the moment.
CLG this week looked better than 100 Thieves. And we'll look at what next week they play. So that's like a
Yeah.
really important match to actually see how they're playing.
Yeah.
Because that determines more. Like again, like it doesn't matter to me that 100 Thieves won the Golden Guardians game. They won by a fucking clinch by Someday and Bang. That doesn't
They
prove to
won
me-
off of a
Right.
really bad Baron.
That
play
doesn't
from
prove to me
Golden
they're a better
Guardians.
team. So it actually makes me really worried about 100 Thieves. But a team that's even more worrisome is Golden Guardians than I guess. So
What? Imagine having to revamp your entire roster. You still end up in 10th place.
yeah. So
And
I'll be
Nero's the
honest.
coach of that team too.
Yeah,
which
I'll
I
be
find
honest.
weird. So Nero's a good coach.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't give a shit about anyone on Golden Guardians except Nero. I like Nero. He's a chill guy. He was a good coach on Echo Fox. I don't know what's happening on GGS. I heard their scrims are decent, but like when I watched their games, it got a little better this week. Like the quality of play, it looked like they're a bit more together, but it still felt like Ole was pretty much inting. Like it looked like I was watching Kevin. Oh, he did that same shit Kevin did. He died warding on Soraka.
Yeah.
He went
yeah,
to
yeah,
ward,
I
like,
saw that. I saw that. I saw
was
that.
Was it Dragon or Red Side Raptors? Where was he?
It was
warding?
Red. It was like Red Side Raptors. Ezreal chunks him out. Chunks almost.
Yeah, he got
killed.
fucked by Bang. Oh my
And then
god.
the entire
And then
team
Bang
collapsed.
flashed over. Yeah, he had to like use his ult and like flash. Oh my fucking god.
And barrier.
Wait, didn't they
fucking-
go Draven Soraka?
Yeah, that was Draven.
Oh,
and Soraka,
Was it? I
right?
thought it was Kaisa Soraka.
I think it was Draven, right?
No, just
Draven
remember
was one of
Kaisa.
the
Because
games.
remember, definitely.
Oh yeah,
ulted as
definitely
Kaisa,
ulted in.
too.
It was Kaisa. It was Kaisa. It was Kaisa.
Oh, so
Kaisa.
yeah, they played Draven the game before.
Okay.
I feel like the
Dude.
drafts don't make any sense though. They're
Ole
completely.
fucking inted. Oh my god, it's
I
like
don't
watching
get any of
Kevin.
their drafts. Their drafts are just sit there and lose.
God, it's like watching
I-
Kevin play. Jesus, like he.
The
does-
Urdot top wasn't bad. Urdot top, and they had LeBlanc main, which is fine if they want to play for picks using Urdot. And they have
Well,
Kaisa.
I just like Golden Guardian's bot lane is just too bad right now. Like, I'm fine. Okay, Contracts makes his mistakes, and he got fucked really hard early game. That jungle deck.
Yeah, he did. He got.
But
lost three
like,
buffs early on, I think.
Contracts, even though he has his issues, I don't like. He's still like a decent enough player. Like I'd say like he could be good in academy, but he's decent enough that you could still fit him as a starter, right?
Yeah.
If need be. And like he's a player that like I feel like given the right teammates, he can like enable or carry. Like
saw
when he was
that
on C9, right? He was given the right teammates and he was able to perform. So the thing is, and Froggen, it's not like Froggen and Hansor look awful either. It looks like they're getting a bit better together. But the bot lane didn't look like they improved from week 1, which is very worrisome. Because every other bot lane in the league is actually pretty decent. Apollo Hakuho, Styx A Bio, you know, like those two,
Yeah.
even though they're lower on the list, even Asta Gate looked better than Deftly and Ole.
Ole.
That's a big problem.
Fucking trolley.
Yeah, that's a big problem for Golden Guardians, and pretty much.
Dude, it's
Golden
even their
Guardians-
academy team.
Yeah,
I think
Who's
it's gonna
on their
take a
academy?
while for that GGS team to get it right. though.
I think Golden Guardians is super.
they have
fucked right
all
now.
they have a lot of issues.
I don't think
I-
I don't think they necessarily go 0-18 per se. Like I think they look better, and it looks like they did improve slightly, but their bot lane just looks very, just hard to manage right now, given their
Yeah.
you know.
Because you have someone who just got off playing with Double Lift, who is a veteran, knows how to play, knows his play style, is very specific with what he wants to do. And you have definitely a new guy with a Korean support.
Nah, dude. Ole was just like, yo, I played with Double Lift. Now I'm gonna be playing with Deft. Wait, Deftly?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, but then
Yeah,
you have
like-
Froggen coming off of a year of not playing. Like, there's gonna be some rust in this team.
It's
Froggen
sad.
pretty much reminds me of Bjergsen in the sense that like I actually like looked at his laning and I actually think his laning is pretty good, but like the problem is he's not doing very much proactively right now. Um, and that's like one of the common complaints Froggen's like been given for the last four
Yeah.
years.
Is that
So
he rather play for minions rather than his team.
right, which
He
to
wants to get farm and get stronger for
yeah,
himself.
and to a certain degree, like that's reasonable in the right conditions. But when that's the thing you do all the time, then it becomes very obvious what you do against Froggen to like win the map.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
kind of looked like he was just playing solo too.
Hmm. Yeah,
Like it doesn't look like he was playing LeBlanc
he's
and
just
he
right.
wasn't roam.
Right, he was
He
LeBlanc,
just
but he was
sat.
super risk averse against the
Yeah,
Zoe, so it
he
doesn't.
didn't
You were
really
not gonna
do
win.
anything. Like he didn't roam. He didn't roam to help anyone out. Really, he didn't really move. He just kind of just sat mid and didn't really do anything.
All
Yeah.
right, well, now that we talked about the lower six teams, let's move on to the other four: TSM, TL, C9, and FlyQuest. Where should we start here?
C9.
No, C9.
Okay, C9 losing to CLG. What do you guys think?
It's
I
just
knew
a bad week.
there was there was a thing in me like I knew C9 had the upper hand, but something in me told me just CLG's gonna fucking prove you wrong. But C9 still looks good. C9 still looks solid in my opinion.
But I think
They
the
just
point
have
is
the
that
fence
the thing is they look vulnerable. Not vulnerable as in
Yeah.
a bad team, but like attackable now. Like there's
I
ways
think
that you can attack and beat them.
I honestly think out of the top four, they're probably my fourth place team.
Who's your second and third then?
I have TL1, FlyQuest 2, TSM3 at the moment. If we're gonna play off week two, like
FlyQuest too. Ooh,
off
yeah.
stats,
Let's get
if
it.
we're gonna play off just the way they're playing together as teams
Yeah.
and like predictions going on tonight next week, I would predict that.
Okay.
I that's what I think.
Well, yeah, I mean C9 like I said, I don't use vulnerable to mean like oh they're easy to beat. I mean vulnerable is
No.
like there's a way to attack them right now.
They have a clear weakness, I
Right.
think.
Which is
I
like
think-
the difference
yeah.
between where I look at TL, where it's like I don't see TL as being super vulnerable unless you somehow roll over Jensen, and I don't think that's gonna
Yeah.
happen. Because even when you roll over X Smithy and Impact, they actually just come back into the game and play their role. And then
Yeah.
Corjay and Double is two solid bot lanes, so you actually kind of just Jensen's the only way you roll over the game. And
Jensen's
I
how
don't,
you have to attack
I don't want
them.
to call that a vulnerability though, because it's rare for that to
Yeah.
happen. So.
And
But,
Jensen really like Jensen's weakness like maybe Bjergsen and like international laners, international mids, and that's really just Jensen's kryptonite.
Yeah. So
But
back
who
to
knows?
back to
Maybe now he
C9
has-
though.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. Like they look.
It was
fine.
just
It was a 1-1
bad-
week.
Yeah.
I think it was
It was
just a
1-1 week.
bad,
Oh.
just a bad game for them.
Yeah.
They put
Yeah.
Licorice on Victor again, which just doesn't work.
Yeah, I think Victor's a really big.
Victor
weakness
hasn't.
right now.
Victor has only won once in NA this season. It was the game that Hooney looked bad on it, but they still
Oh, where he
won.
got Tanner timed.
Yeah,
Yeah, basically. Where it
That's
was
the
the
only
Collie
win.
versus the world.
but they lost. They lost. They didn't know when to back out. They got baited around red buff just as PoE hit 6, and then they just tried forcing to kill what's his name, crap, and the mid laner Niski.
Yeah.
No, not Niski.
Power
PoE.
Evil.
Power Evil.
They kept greeting out for it, and then he just revived himself, and they're like, "Oh crap, we're in a bad spot," and they're TPing in, and then they got themselves. 4 of them died, and it was just
Yeah.
sneaky alive, just farming bot. Like it was just a really bad fight for him,
Yeah.
and then they just lost the game off of that. They were just too far behind. There was too much pressure.
All right.
You
well,
put Wiggly 2 kills up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not much to say. We'll just go up Michael's list then. We'll go to TSM next.
Despite the record, I'm
Live.
actually I'm pretty happy with TSM the way they played. Granted they did fuck up bot lane against FlyQuest, but I'm happy that they're going for aggressive plays and trying to be more proactive around the map. Yeah, Broken Blade like inted a bit like they did solo, but in team fights he still played his job really well as Irelia.
My
causing
main
so much
thing with
destruction
the
with that.
solo top play was like I am curious what was going on in his mind during that. If he like just made a brain fart, because it looked like he just had a brain fart kind of, where he like
Yeah.
assumed the tower damage would be lower, because like
Yeah.
tower damage ramps
He
up
would've
really
flushed out,
quickly.
yeah.
Like the damage is like over 300 like at the first shot and ramps up to 400 very quickly. So
Yeah.
like he tanked the extra tower shot. I was like, whoa, what the fuck are you doing? And then the other guy died too, so I was very surprised
Virginia.
there. Yeah.
I think Bjergsen is playing pretty well at the moment, especially with his T-play plays on the Sandra. I thought his Syndra laning against Zoe was really good.
Yeah.
His TPs are on points. So like there's if there's something for me to complain about TSM, it's just they haven't gelled enough as a team, and they're still playing like a bit solo queuey. But I'm willing to like give them until summer to iron it
It
out.
looks like there's just some growing pains in like how they're playing. Like for example, the
Yeah,
bot lane with FlyQuest. Might have been just like a misassumption on their
yeah,
part
and
on what
also
they were doing.
Braum fucked up, like seriously fucked up, like not blocking the Ornald and burning shield early, and that just stuff.
Smithy was really bad in the FlyQuest game.
Yeah, but like again,
He finished 0-7.
I don't mind them having bad games if they're like, because like they went for the Baron, and I'm okay with that 50-50.
Like you like that they're not passive. this
Yeah,
year.
I like the fact they're actually
Yeah.
going for stuff, and I'm completely okay with them losing until summer.
The problem was the game was just over once they gave a double kill over to Kaisa, and then Kaisa had 3 or 4 kills by
Yeah,
15.
and they don't have a way. Yeah, they don't have a way to lock down Tyso with that comp.
Yeah, and then Poe Belter already had so many, like it was between those two they had the 2,000 gold bounty on their heads, like they were.
And again, like I think it was fine. I think that 50-50 could have worked out if Zoe doesn't pick up that smite in mid lane where okay, like what do you do as a jungler when the enemy mid laner has smite and it's 3 levels on you? That's like a big sad moment.
Yeah, it was just hilarious. My boy Poe Belter is playing like a beast this season.
Dude, I was rewatching that, like, okay, maybe he got smite from his jungler, I would understand it, but nah, dude, that was a smite from a minion. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Poe Belter is the Chovy of NA now.
All right, well let's move on to FlyQuest then. Go ahead.
Hasn't
Go ahead, FlyQuest Skieco. Make your.
Dude, Poe Belter's playing insane. He's got one.
How do you justify that loss to CLG though?
It's unlucky. Everyone has a bad game, you know.
Yes, it sucks. They're not allowed to have bad days with FlyQuest. They lose to the weaker team.
It was just, the draft was just not great, to be honest. Like, it just wasn't.
How do you kill?
No, their draft was good. They just didn't play well. Like,
how does Draven kill Sion though? Is my question. How the fuck does Draven? How does Turtles Draven kill Sion?
They didn't have Draven. They had Kaisa.
No, in the CLG game, they had.
Not
Draven.
CLG. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just I didn't like their team comp, and I thought they didn't play very well compared to like all their other games that they've been playing this split. But yeah, I felt like their team was a lot of weird stuff. I feel like if they didn't win early, they were just gonna get outscaled because they had a Sion, Oriana, and Ezreal. So like they just got outscaled late. They didn't end fast.
I mean, you can't walk up to the Sion Oriana Ezreal team. You get put down.
Because the Ezreal Tom Kench lane into a Draven Braum, they literally just sealed.
I thought
that game was so snooze fest though.
Yeah, I didn't.
That game was so boring.
Michael, you called me toward the end of that game. I was like, oh yeah, I wasn't watching it because it got boring as fuck.
I was telling Jack, I actually fell asleep that night listening to that game because it was so fucking boring.
Well, yeah, it's because literally the best performing player was Turtle that game, but he literally couldn't do anything because every single time he went in on Ezreal, Ezreal would just jump back and Tom Kench would eat him. And then Sion was just way too tanky. What's his name? Darshan had too much health for him to even deal with. He had like 8k health or something like that.
So let's talk about the team that's untouchable now.
I was gonna keep going about FlyQuest gods. That's about all I can say about FlyQuest. They're playing really well. They're defying expectations.
Yeah, I was gonna say like it seems like the same story as week 1, where like they're doing good stuff, and yeah.
I just want to see them keep it up. If they can keep this pace, then
they'll make playoffs for sure. I think.
Yeah, I just don't want to see them fall off towards like the middle of the season.
So, but yeah,
because they have some of their easier schedule is coming in the middle of the season. Like they play not FlyQuest. They play Echo Fox and Clutch coming up.
Oh, do you think Clutch is probably the easier schedule?
Yeah, I don't think Clutch is very good.
We have a better NA mid laner.
They had 2 a week. What happened?
We have a better NA mid laner. Anyways,
you think Big Tanner?
I think Tanner Time's gonna bully the fuck out of that bitch. No, I'm kidding. So let's talk about Team Liquid.
Untouchable.
Yeah, nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
I do have a thing to talk about Team Liquid later on in the show, but we'll get to that after we do our predictions for next week.
Yeah.
Because I do have some stuff to talk about Team Liquid afterwards, but as of now, as far as NA is concerned, Just
The
looking
only
at
thing I could say about Team Liquid is that I think Core JJ is a super like impactful player on that team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so too.
Their calls are like they seem really like, oh, we're in on this play. Like Core JJ's like in there. Like when he 1v5 because he knew that his team was going to be that took a lot of like coordination there for him to just
Okay.
go in 1v5 and just take all that and then still make it out okay.
So here's the thing,
I'm
though.
I'm not gonna lie, it's Smithy's Lee Sin is really impressing me.
Okay, so
Yeah,
here's the thing.
I think
He
that
was
just
never
helps him
known for
grow.
Lee. He was
He
never
play-
known for Lee though. He was always
He plays Lee like he has the sight
Stone.
yeah.
He's always
'Cause-
everywhere. It's impressive.
Yeah, because he's all over the map and he's just
Okay.
able to get over the map in ward places. And stuff.
I'll give you guys my take on TL though, but I want to first do predictions for next week. This thing. 'Cause
Sure.
My TL take goes into like international stuff. I
International,
want to
yeah.
talk about.
One more thing though, I think they have shown that they can play around mid too, which was better because it doesn't look like they're like maybe Double If gets shut down internationally, and now they have something they can fall back on. I was also impressed that Impact played Kali decently well.
Okay, so
Yeah, that surprised me a lot too.
next week's
Yeah.
matches are going to be 100 Thieves Clutch Gaming. Who wins?
Hunter,
Yeah, see, it's hard. I'm going with Clutch.
Does who he
SKT top
play?
laner over SKT bottom lane.
Does who he play?
Dude, you think Tanner? All right. Anyways, I don't know. Dude. 100 Thieves, like after their game against Golden Guardians, they looked so cheap.
I have to say Clutch.
Because okay,
I mean,
here's the
Clutch,
thing:
their losses look better
if
than their
100 Thieves has to rely on their Koreans to win, Clutch also has Koreans who are mechanically good, right? And even if Clutch has like players who int, 100 Thieves also has players who int. So Clutch has looked more solid as a team overall than 100 Thieves has this season.
I actually
so
think
far.
Clutch in their losses this week looked better than 100 Thieves in their win.
Yeah, I think Clutch, like for me, it's like 60-40. Like I think Clutch. 60-40.
I think Clutch has performed better, but I think 100 Thieves is probably gonna win this week. I feel like they're gonna get it together this week.
I put my bet Clutch 60-40 based on what we've seen so far.
I'll put it on
Not-
Clutch.
Not,
I'll put
not,
it on
based on
Clutch.
improvement because I can't. I honestly
I'll
can't
put
judge
it. I'll
improvement.
put it 100 Thieves 51-49. There you go.
Cool. FlyQuest TL. Will.
Likewise. Oh wait, no TL. I didn't hear the second team.
I actually think FlyQuest can win this. I actually think FlyQuest can win
If there's
this.
any team that could beat TL, it's FlyQuest.
I actually think
No.
FlyQuest can win this.
I don't know, dude.
FlyQuest has Pope out there, the inside man. He knows how they
You know
play.
what? I'll put my money on FlyQuest for this game. I'll put my money on FlyQuest to win
I'm
this.
gonna bet against you guys. TL. What do you guys want to bet?
No, I said TL.
Michael, I'll bet against FlyQuest. Do you want to bet something on these? I like
But
betting.
it
Betting's
has
fun.
to be like 5-1 though for TL favored.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be like a real
Like
big
Michael has to
thing
give up
too.
a lot less than you do.
Okay, so if FlyQuest
it's
beats
very his
TL,
favor.
what do you want, Michael?
I feel like you should buy him lunch or something like that.
I'll buy
and
you
if-
tenders
if-
again if FlyQuest.
And then
wins.
he'll buy you like a drink, a large
No,
Coke.
no. If FlyQuest wins, I'll buy you tenders again, like last time. Okay.
All right. If TL,
If TL wins, you play
I'll
Yu-Gi-Oh
die.
with us.
No, fuck that. That's a way bigger loss than me. It's more time spent for
Wait,
me.
so me
Large
spending
Coke.
$6 is more time than you playing Yu-Gi-Oh with us at club?
Yeah.
What about a large Coke, Jack?
All right. What about next
What-
time I hang out with you for like some event? You buy me one of those large like 2-liter Diet Cokes.
All right, that's fine. I'll get you one for
All right, cool.
7-Eleven.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So if TL wins, all right, I'm cheering for TL this week, baby. Cool. TSM C9.
C9.
I think TSM.
I think it'll be
TSM.
close, but I think C9.
I
will
actually
win.
have no idea which one for this one.
I think if TSM are able to patch up the early aggression mistakes and they can attack Licorice top, I think they can win it. It also depends if C9 wants to be cute with their draft and draft Victor again.
Oh, if they draft Victor, any team who drafts Victor, I'm picking the other team.
Because
Hmm.
TSM has yet to pick Victor, and C9 has drafted Victor, so I'm gonna go with TSM.
I don't want to see a Victor on another team comp. It just doesn't work. Victor is not strong
I
enough.
actually think Sven hasn't been playing that well. Sven Skaren. I actually don't think he's been playing super well.
That's why Blabber's coming in.
I think TSM. I think 55-45 TSM.
You just think,
Uh,
you just think Golden Glue or Blabber's gonna play first this season?
No,
I
the
think
problem
Blabber
is
has a higher
C9
likelihood.
has a lot of Okay, I can't judge this game because there's too many factors going into like the solo lanes being changed. C9 Niski versus Bjergsen is an unknown quantity for this season.
They
Broken
played
Blade versus-
before in NBS, but
right,
yeah.
but Niski changed a lot after Splice.
Yeah, Niski's a lot better
Right,
player.
and also Licorice versus Broken Blade is an unknown quantity, so I have no statement on TSM.
I think the bot lane's just a wash matchup. Neither of them are like good in lane. Like neither of them are like aggressive.
If I had to do it, I'd do 51% C9 just because
I think
of team play.
I think Sven has the
it's too much of an unknown quantity for this game.
Sven has the advantage bot lane, but that's not saying
Each
much.
of them
They're
has an
both very
inside
fast.
man, Smoothie for TSM and Sven Skaren for C9. But yeah, I
but
can't.
I think-
It's too much of an unknown quantity.
I think I actually rated Kaden over Sven at the moment. I think Kaden's playing really well.
I think Acadian's actually been pretty good.
So I think I'll
I
take
can't
the-
wait till Grigney's back though.
Great.
The true potential.
All right,
It's nuts though. Like if you have a
CLG
Rift
versus
entry, that is
Echo
nuts.
Fox. I am saying CLG.
What was it?
CLG
Oh,
Echo
CLG.
Fox. I think CLG.
I think CLG.
Because I think Bio Stixay is more volatile. Okay, Bio Stixay is a more volatile lane than Apollo Hakuho. Apollo Hakuho are like more consistent Bio Stixay, right? But I think CLG, it's Phoenix versus PoE. I think PoE is more consistent and plays better than Phoenix. I think
Solo is
Darshan versus Solo.
Darshan solo. I think Darshan will win if they get him on Scion. So please, Weldon, fucking make him Scion Spartan. Fucking change his name. Even his teacher calls him Scion Spartan, dog.
What if they draft Darshan Akali though?
Fuck.
Weldon doesn't even was Weldon on stage for draft?
I don't know. The only advantage Fox has, I think, is Rush. But I think other than that,
Yeah.
CLG looks like they improved. And I think it'll be CLG.
I'm gonna choose Fox.
I think 70-30 CLG.
I'm gonna
I
pick
think
Fox for the bet. I'm gonna pick Fox for the bet.
You want to bet on it? All right, I'll bet on this one too.
No. For a bet that Fox makes
Oh,
semis.
do you want to bet on this game though?
No.
Why not?
I'll bet on this game, Jack, if you take the Fox side.
No. See, if you're not willing to bet on the game, that means you don't actually believe they're gonna win. There you go.
I don't think
So
the odds are
you're
in my
just-
favor, but I'm rooting for them.
Yeah, you can
I think-
root for them. I'm just saying who
I
do you
think
predict
there's
actually
too many
win?
bets going
I'm
on.
pretty
you
sure
gotta lose-
CLG
write them all down.
But I'm already betting in Flex West TL. I'm not gonna bet again.
Anyways, I think CLG is winning. All right, Golden Guardians Optic wins. Fuck.
Optic.
Golden Guardian looks like poop. They can improve, but
GGS is winning this
I'm
week.
not considering improvements right now because
I think
that's too much
GGS
of a
wins this
factor.
one.
Do you think GGS beats TSM if they win a game? I would not be surprised if the last place team
Alright.
upsets TSM.
Anyways,
That's always
I
happened.
think GGS beats them this week.
All right,
I'll take someone on that bet. I'll
No.
bet.
All right, I'll bet on Optic for that one.
what are you guys betting?
Another optic jersey.
Wait,
That's a
you
lot.
would buy an Optic jersey?
No.
Okay.
I would not put my hopes inside of contracts.
All right.
Definitely.
Anyways, let's go to day 2. I'm pretty sure Optic's winning that one. Fox versus FlyQuest. FlyQuest for me.
Quest.
Cloud9 versus Clutch Gaming.
Cloud9.
Ugh, I want to root for Clutch, but Cloud9 like 55-45 for me.
I think it depends. I think it's
Because-
Cloud9.
I'm only saying Cloud9 because they look more they look less inty than Clutch, and I think Cloud9 matches them for the most part.
Yeah. Also, I think
So-
Cloud9's less volatile, which means
The only part of Cloud9 that's volatile, I feel like, is Sven Skaren,
Sven,
and
yeah.
Lyra is also volatile. So I think Cloud9 wins that like 55-45. But the thing is, like, Echo Fox does have a chance, or not Echo Fox, Clutch has a chance to win that. So it's like,
Yeah.
I think Vulcan's volatile if he plays Stormcad.
all right, TL Optic, TL,
Yeah.
Optic. Wait, what? No, TL.
TSM Golden Guardians, TSM.
Yes,
Clutch Gaming 100 Thieves. Or not Clutch Gaming, CLG 100 Thieves. For me, it's CLG.
At this point,
CLG.
Yeah. Okay,
CLG.
so we're pretty.
But I
unanimous on
think
day
I
two.
think 100 Thieves if they win Saturday they have a
Against
2.
Clutch, yeah. I think if they win
I
against
think if
Clutch,
they beat
then
they beat Clutch, I think they have a 2 a week. I think they have to. win.
No, actually, I disagree. Clutch is too volatile to consider a team that if you beat them, you show that you're good.
No,
I think Clutch is too
I don't think
volatile.
it shows that they're good, but I think for some reason in my mind, I think if they win on Saturday, they'll win Sunday.
That makes sense. They'll have momentum going into the next game. They'll,
I
like,
think they just need to
have more time.
show that they can play together.
I don't know. I just hope Optic beats TL this week.
I drank the 100 Thieves Kool-Aid before.
Dude, I remember your predictions, dude. 100 Thieves,
Yeah, they're
all
sec-
around improvements. He's a great chemistry improvement to the team.
I never
thought
made
it
that
was-
argument. I said
I
he was a side grade
Oh.
from Ryu. My only
I
argument was
made the
that
chemistry
Bang was...
improvement.
Oh,
That
fuck
was me.
you. That's bullshit. Anyways,
Yeah, that was Will's
all right,
thing.
let's move
I
on though.
think the chemistry has improved.
Okay.
Has it made them more NA for fun? Possibly.
Let's
Chemistry is good though. That's top tier chemistry.
Boy, you've never even.
It's all about the chemistry,
All right.
baby.
Anyways, let's move on to what I was gonna say about TL. Uh, I think TL is going to win NA both splits. I think that they will not give up more than like 3 games a max in a split.
You were to jinx him now.
I mean, given how they look and what. Okay, so here's my thoughts to that. Right, I actually think the team would do better in NA if it was Pobelter and CoreJJ and not Jensen CoreJJ. And this sounds weird, right? But it's like, I think Pobelter is a very proven quantity. Is that like, it's very straightforward what his role is on TL. Whereas Jensen, they might have some growing pains, and that's where I think they'll give up a few best of ones. With Jensen is like they'll try to do a few things if they do try. If they don't, then it'll be fine. They'll be undefeated. My problem though with TL, I think internationally they will still be fucked. And the thing is, like, I think about all the teams internationally. I think about TL, and I think TL still comes down to like a team where it's like, if you're worse than them, you'll lose, but if you're better than them, you'll actually just beat them in a way, right? And I know this sounds kind of weird, but it's like, you think of top lane, you think of jungle. Top lane and jungle are very solid on TL, and they're not very volatile, right? And even if when Xmithy gets like 3 buffed, he still comes back into the game well. Even when like you blow Impact Splash and solo kill him or whatever, he still comes back into the game. So it's like, you can do that even in NA, and that happens occasionally. But those players are solid and come back into the game. Internationally, however, I feel like the people who do that, if they're good enough, they actually get a lead from that and try to snowball the rest of the map. Double of Core JJ. I think they're a very good lane, comparable to some of the top tier lanes internationally. But at the same time, being on the same level is enough, right? And then we look at mid lane. I think Jensen's a great improvement over Pobelter for international, but I don't think that changes, like, that's going to make them win, right? They have to change as a team and, like, improve, like, a lot overall. And if we, I mean, I'll just do a simple eye test comparison. We can see how Jensen played against Caps at Worlds. And then we can compare how Caps played against Rookie and Scout. You know, it's like, I can't see that this roster, even though it improved, and it's a strong team, I can see them getting out of groups, but I have a hard time thinking that they get like further than that. Like, sure, they might be able to get out of groups out of consistent play and like CoreJ's great shot calls and their bot lane being on par with like some of the top bot lanes in the world. I don't see how they get further than that though, because the rest of their map won't do enough other than enable their bot lane. And Jensen, even as a carry, won't overcome the other mid laners.
I agree with you a lot on that actually, because okay, so to be fair, I don't watch LPL that much. I can't really comment, but let's do like even an eye test of like.
Right,
TL
like, yeah, I just mean like
G2,
eye test. Like,
and
there's a
then
lot of other factors, but just based on eye test.
Yeah.
Simple, like a few weeks of what I've seen and last year. So that's pretty much what I'm going.
Even comparing them to like #1 seeds of other teams, I just see the other #1 seeds being stronger in general.
I just have a hard time being excited for like any team from any region going to Worlds right now, because it's just like Griffin is just insane. I think IG is the only team that I've seen that might be able to take a game off of them.
What about top? Top looks
IG lost to Jdong, and top is good. Funplux Phoenix is good. EDG still has potential, but they got fucked this season. RNG hasn't played Uzi yet.
Griffin's making all the Korean teams just look terrible.
But to be fair, I will say this: the Korean teams did look bad at Worlds, though. So
that
could be indicative of Griffin not looking as insane. They could be comparatively better.
I was talking to Judge about this. Is like Griffin good because the rest of LCK is actually pretty bad. He's like, besides like the top 3, LCK is pretty fucking bad this year. In terms of just like the quality of games. Does that make Griffin comparatively just look head and shoulders above everyone else because everyone else is bad?
Maybe it's just because I think I think I have just like this view of LCK, like most people do, like, oh, LCK is the pinnacle of League of Legends. But like maybe to like an LCK like player, maybe like to Griffin players, they just feel like maybe they're like the liquid of LCK right now.
Well, so my point is that like with LCK is like obviously I can't objectively say like they're better or worse because there hasn't been an international event since Worlds. Yeah. But looking at some of the games where like, you know, normally we look at NA games, we're like, NA Clown Fiesta lol. Honestly, some of the bottom like LCK games are starting to look like that.
Did you
Even
watch
some
like
of the
fucking
mid-tier ones, like Genji versus
KT?
JR. Genji versus
Yeah,
JR looked like a clown fiesta. Like that's an
or
example of
KZ KT was pretty bad too.
right. Like I think SKT still looks like they're trying to be solid because they're going for that slow macro play style. But as we see last year, that got really punished. Like Genji got fucked for doing that at Worlds. And in summer, LCK last split, a lot of teams were doing that and they ended like tied top 5 for doing so. But then Griffin beat most of them out with better team fighting. They still got fucked at Worlds, so I don't even think that style is going to work in this meta. Now I know we'll talk about the patch and how things might change, but I think around the world that's not necessarily going to work. So I don't know.
I agree.
My one shining hope is that like LPL teams, I think they do scrim a lot of the LCK teams. So like I think some of the LCK teams will still be able to stay on par. Like I think Griffin has been scrimming IG at Worlds, and Griffin will probably be scrimming some of the other top LPL teams. So yeah, I don't know. I see the improvements from Team Liquid as they can get out of groups, but going further will be very difficult because it seems like there's been inflation of like EU teams and LPL teams, and both those regions seem to have gotten stronger this year.
I'm very nervous for MSI this year because if Liquid does not show up and have a good performance at MSI, like at least quarters, I don't know how you could have faith in them going into Worlds.
Well,
because
so
people hyped up Cloud9 so much going into Worlds because they didn't play at MSI, so there wasn't really much to compare them to other than like, oh my god, they came back from 10th place, look at them go. But if Liquid, the whole point of the roster, like Steve said, was to make a team that can compete against all these other teams internationally. But if they can't do it at MSI, like if they don't make it out, like imagine if they don't make it out of the groups at MSI, like that would be basically considered like a class. Like. So I don't even know if they're good. I don't even think they can make a move. Like I doubt they would make a move.
They can make it out of groups at MSI though.
Well, I think they can.
They make it out because Taiwan is fucked. Taiwan lost Sword Art and Maple
Taiwan,
to China.
like every other well, LPL EU got better. I think NA
No. But see, that's what I mean.
Every other region got worse.
There's 6 regions well, not 6 regions. There's like the play-ins for MSI, right? But like the point is like, so you have like say the 6 regions that end up going NA, LCK, or LPL, EU, Vietnam, and Taiwan. Taiwan used to beat NA traditionally. Right, so pretty much the 6th seed never like did anything at MSI. Like Vietnam always got fucked, right?
Yeah.
The 3 seeds that always compete for the 4th place spot at MSI are always EU, NA, and Taiwan. Recently, Taiwan's been doing well. EU's been doing well. NA did well in 2016, and they got in. But Taiwan's gone now, pretty much, right? I don't think any of the Taiwanese teams, like, we saw at Worlds how bad they played other than Flash Wolves, and Flash Wolves still struggled because they were only playing against RNG, and they were only, like, they were learning from
Maple
RNG.
and Sword
right.
Art.
They lost Maple and Sword Art to Sunning Gaming and LPL, which Sunning is doing extremely well right now. They're, like, 4-1. So I feel like without Flash Wolves, NA actually does make groups pretty easily. Like EU and NA will make it.
I think they can make groups. The thing I have, for me to have faith in Liquid and to call it a success going into Worlds, is they at least have to make semis for me to think that they have any shot.
Or they have to like show they can't like be swept.
Or they have to make quarters and actually have like a good performance.
Like they can't be 3-0'd by the other team. Like,
yeah, they have to at least put up a fight. Like they'd be either close losses. So basically, if they get 3-0'd in quarters.
Yeah, but what if they got 3-0'd by Griffin though?
Well, okay.
Well, yeah, but if it's like Griffin,
the most important scenario I want to talk about though is like, so that means like, I mean, say LCK and LPL face off in that, and then EU and NA face off.
Wait, is LCK at MSI this year?
Yeah, LCK will be at MSI.
Weren't they not last year?
They were every year.
LCK is at MSI. They lost last year. Kingzone lost to RNG.
Oh, for some reason I thought they did their own thing.
No, Kingzone.
No, you think about Rift Rivals where they played against.
Oh, yeah, Rift Rivals is just LCK versus LPL. But all right, G2 versus TL is the important one in case there is a quarterfinal for. I guess it would technically be a semifinal, right? Oh yeah, I guess for Rift Rivals it's MSI it's semifinal. So like for G2 versus Liquid, let's look how they stack up. I actually don't think they will overcome Liquid's top jungle. I think Liquid top jungle are actually very secure. Like while Wonder and Yankos can carry more and enable more, I think Xmithy is actually a really good player and Impact's also a really good player, and I don't think they'll get rolled over. And I don't even think Yankos will necessarily outpressure Smithy. Bot lane, Perks and Mickey X are a bit of an unproven quantity in terms of like, I think their game knowledge for bot lane is significantly lower than Double Lift and Core JJ. And while Perks and Mickey X are mechanically gifted, Double Lift and Core JJ are actually like very proven quantities. So I actually give it over to Double Lift and Core JJ for that. The main thing is like Caps versus Jensen. Caps once again is actually looking insane in EU, and I know he got shat on like in Worlds by like some of the Eastern mid laners, but he fucked Jensen really hard, and Pobelter, or not Pobelter, Ryu, really hard in the groups, and then in semis. So I see them. I don't know. I just think like that's like the one like thing that looks very one sided. Whereas like I think Liquid's bot lane is better, but it's not going to be extremely one-sided, and I think top and jungle end up being neutralized. I just see the mid lane being extremely one-sided for Jensen and Caps. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I think as you said, the easiest way to punish TL is play through mid lane.
Because that's a really like only vulnerable lane that like has fragility in a way, you know.
Yeah.
And the thing is like, well, I think I actually think G2 is vulnerable in all their positions. Like you could attack any of their positions in a sense, because none of them are like the rock type of player. I don't think TL is the type of team to like attack something unless it's Jensen and they change their playstyle, in which they would have to break through mid lane. But Caps is such an overwhelming force for that I just don't see that happening. Because I don't see top and jungle getting rolled over on G2 side by TL's top jungle.
God, I forgot how bad the game one at first Fnatic versus C9 was. Holy crap, that was tragic.
Yeah,
game.
So that's the thing is
Three
like
kills,
they have to like either Jensen needs to improve significantly, or TL's bot lane has to be significantly better than G2 and G2's, which is possible because we haven't seen them played yet.
I don't think it's just Jensen versus Caps though. I think you have to take into account the mid jungle duo.
Right, but I don't think Yankos is like gonna get out pressured by Xmithy and then vice versa.
I don't think so either, but I think Xmithy's way better than Sven.
You mean Yankos?
You mean Yankos?
No, I think Smithy's better than.
Oh, so you mean the reason Caps was beaten out was because of like Sven?
No, I don't think it was solely that reason. I think Caps is better than Jensen.
Yeah.
But I think if you put Xmithy over Sven, I think there's a better chance for that mid jungle to succeed.
Okay. That's fair.
I just think Smithy provides so much for Team Liquid when it comes to vision and map control. Like he always seems to be like in the place at the right time. He always seems to know where he needs to be. Always has vision. And I feel like because they basically just put impact on that island, so he's always hovering between mid and bot.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's always going to be,
like active.
there to help out. Yeah, I feel like he puts on a bit more pressure than Sven does.
But yeah, I mean, it just looks very close to me with the edge being on EU side, and that is troublesome. But
yeah,
the more important one. Then, Michael, go ahead. What's your point?
I do think though that like the top half, like the top three of EU are stronger than NA. But I think NA is a whole better than EU at the moment.
I was about to say the more important one is Rift Rivals, baby. NA versus EU. Top 3 NA teams, top 3 EU teams. Who are the top 3 NA teams for this? Who are you guys sending to? Who are you guys sending to Rift Rivals?
Is Rift Rivals after Spring Split?
It's after MSI. It's like 3 weeks into Summer Split, I think.
I gotcha. So I would.
TL, TSM, C9.
Clutch Gaming, Optic, and TL.
I think realistically it would be. I would agree more with Michael.
Yeah,
I think FlyQuest could be exchanged with either C9 or TSM, but I think they're pretty safe top 4 right now.
Yeah. I think Viper with
unless 100 Thieves complete like
180s.
Yeah, they would have to change a lot.
Okay, so who are the top 3 for EU then? It's G2. Do you just think G2 Vitality?
G2 Schalke.
Vitality?
Probably
because they're better than Misfits right now by score.
Misfits could be though.
Yeah, no, they could be, but same thing with NA as a lot of teams could be.
Yeah,
so
probably one of those 3. I think Schalke's really. I think Schalke G2 are definitely confirmed. Like, at least if they keep up the momentum, who knows what can happen to Schalke. I think it's pretty obvious that G2's gonna be there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fnatic's not in theory, unless
if things continue the way they are, then yes.
They have to be top 3.
No 1 in 5 team has ever come back and. Oh, they can get top, yes, but
okay.
America won this play.
So we've talked about competitive.
Doesn't G2 Fnatic play this week?
I did not check. I don't really care too much about LEC, I'll be honest.
I just
Uh,
want to see what happens.
I thought G2 Fnatic play in week 5.
It's either next week or this week. Let's see.
You want to see Cap's body nemesis?
Yeah, G2 Fnatic is on Saturday.
Oh, nice.
It's the last game on Saturday.
Okay, so we talked about competitive. I want to get into solo queue now because an important patch came out today.
9.3?
Comes out tomorrow, actually. Patch 9.3. Do you guys look at it?
Yeah, I did already. I looked at the
Will,
notes
did
already.
you look at it?
No, I didn't.
You should look at it right now.
Is it gonna make me sad?
They
Crit
changed,
ADCs
they
might come
changed
back.
IE back to being crit.
Essence Reaver as well.
They changed Essence Reaver back to ADC item. They reduced the cost of Zeal items. It pretty much changed everything, but then nerfed IE from the one from last season. It's like everything's pretty much the same as last season, but then IE is nerfed. And then they added Essence Flare on a new item. And,
Spear Shojin.
and also Phantom Dancer gives you a shield now, which I fucking hate. Because that's going to make laning against Yasuo a bitch.
They removed the
instead.
heal off of Akali's cube.
Oh, Akali's gone. Akali's gone.
Yeah.
Aatrox is gone.
Yeah.
Irelia is gone. Those 3 champions are fucked.
Hell yeah.
I watched Ellis's patch
Wait,
notes and I agreed a lot.
Camille doesn't have stun off.
Oh,
for
Camille's
E?
fucked too. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
What
the
did-
point?
Camille jungle's fucked. They wanted to get rid of it.
What did Ellis say? I was watching Freaks earlier.
Wait, but what's the point of that ability though?
Play top lane Camille.
But it doesn't even stun top lane.
Well, it doesn't stun
No,
monsters.
no, it doesn't stun. Yeah, it doesn't stun.
Oh, okay. I thought it doesn't stun in general.
Here.
No, it
Aatrox
doesn't
is
stun
gone.
monsters.
So the
Cass
big
got
part Ellis was talking about for Aatrox was he wasn't actually, he didn't care as much about the removal of the Umbral Dash. He mostly focused on the health thing, which is actually interesting because he said like in the side wave for Aatrox to match better split pushers, he actually needs sustain in order to go back and trade with them. And the Umbral Dash like sustain off minions was actually very important, and they removed it. And then, but my big contention point was the removal of the dash charges.
Yeah, I agree.
That makes landing your Qs actually really hard unless the enemy is dumb enough to step in your range. I think for top lane Aatrox, this doesn't hurt as much because
Because it's a longer lane.
well, not necessarily because it's a longer lane, but because the champions you're fighting, if they're melee, it won't matter as much because they're still stepping within the same like bounds. But for mid lane, this really fucks mid lane Aatrox because
You
mid lane
think
Aatrox.
Jungle Aatrox can still live?
No, this fucks jungle Aatrox too a bit because he needed the 2 charges off the on a gank to like be able to, because he needs to EQ and then land another spell with the second dash. This is the same reason middle Aatrox is going to suffer because without having both charges, your ability to like engage on the enemy mid lane is much weaker now, and you have to either land your W first, they have to walk in your Q range, or you have to Q them not walk out of your W, and then hit them at the
So
same
the way I'm thinking about it, max rank E, right? So you max it second, right? So it's a
So
level
max
13.
rank E cooldown is 5 seconds, and CD reduction to about 3 seconds or 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, if you
Oh,
talk
Sion
about
got
it.
nerfed too.
Which it's not fast enough. Akali, the heal's pretty much removed. They removed the obscure under tower, and they increased her health regen. I think Akali was already gone from solo queue. This just hurts her pro play because this also I think removes Akali from the highest level of solo queue because Akali's damage is really like backloaded.
She's not going to be a first pick anymore.
Akali's damage is extremely backloaded, and I know a lot of you guys hate the obscure mechanic, like where she stealth on her tower, but I actually, I think that was 100% needed on Akali for her to tower dive people, because otherwise she actually can't kill people under tower, because she's not like Zed or like Talon, where like she has front-loaded burst. All her damage is backloaded, so for her to tower dive someone, she actually has to stay under their tower for a long time, and that's why her Twilight Shroud was like balanced in such a way. But with it gone, Akali's completely fucked. Like, there's no way she's tower diving you if you're hiding behind your tower now. She needs to get her R2 up. Her no longer have healing hurts her like late mid in game sustain as well. So I think Akali's just super fucked right now.
I think Akali's done. I think they'll probably buff her up a bit. Like they'll give it a patch to see where her numbers are, and then they'll slowly give her back power. Like how they did with Zoe, where they destroyed Zoe for a patch, and they slow her. I think Zoe's still really strong, but I don't think she's as bullshit as she was before.
Except when TSM gets outsmited. No, I'm kidding.
But like that's RNG, and that's something you
no,
can't
that's what
control,
I mean.
but,
It is
like,
bullshit though, kind of the way the RNG. But
but
I like
she's not as bad where she like nukes you from like half a screen
So,
away and you can't respond.
the next champion on the list, Camille, the stun loss. I actually think it's still possible to take her in the jungle. It's just other champions outclass her now. The other thing I will say is like
her first kill is so hard.
For example, I think Jarvan like fits her
Jarvan's
kind of role better than
Jarvan's buff helps him out a lot.
Right.
So if you go, I did 2 or 3 test runs with it. You already have 1 attack speed with your E up and 10% in the Rune attack speed, which is insane for a jungler at level 1 because that means you get his passive off more. you get more autos in, and you clear like 5 seconds faster.
I think the Casio nerfs doesn't do much to her Q damage. Like it's a bit noticeable, right? You lose 40 at max rank, but by then you're gonna start ramping up with your E. So I don't know. I don't think the Casio nerfs hit her too much. She's gonna be.
I
still
think
be
the Sandra
top
buffs
tier.
make her even higher top tier.
Oh, the Irelia changes. Aurelia's fucked because she's a worse Jax now, as LS put it, and I completely agree in the sense that like you can't make Aurelia into like a auto attack fighter because that's the whole reason they reworked her was to move her away from like the idea of just being a huge stat block that auto attacks. If they move her back toward that like they're doing with her passive change now, she just loses to other duelists. Like you're not gonna beat Fiora, you're not gonna beat Jax, and you're not gonna beat Yasuo. Like auto attackers have to scale up, and Irelia doesn't scale up in the same way. So I just think it's a mistake.
I do think she does have an easier time dealing with tanks than like Fiora out of those champions you said though.
Wait, you think she has an easier time than Fiora?
No, other than Fiora.
Oh, other than Fiora, yeah, sure.
I do think she if
like,
you don't want to play Fiora, I think Irelia is fine as a tank buster.
Like I think Aurelia's one advantage is she's still better in team fights, but that's what they're kind of nerfing is they're nerfing a lot of her burst and like other options. So it's like her unique identity is kind of getting fucked, but whatever. So crit changes, I don't like the PD change. I find it annoying as shit because ADCs
I do like the other changes, everything but PD I liked.
I don't like Sphere of Sojin as an item.
I'm okay with it. I can still abuse it on like Jackson.
Yeah, see, I don't like that shit. How Renekton, Riven, Jax abuses Spirit Sojin. I think that's
and they don't even waste stats on it anymore. So they don't build mana. It
well,
comes out Kindle Jump,
but the thing is, I actually think it's a worse rush item because it's more expensive than Essence Reaver was. Essence Reaver was only 3,000 gold. This one's 3,400. And like you actually,
but components are better is the thing.
Right, but you had more attack damage on the other item too, and then you built it out of Warhammer, which was a better item to build in my opinion than Kindle Gem.
I think Kindle Gem's better in a lot of matchups. I take Kindle Gem more.
That's because you're a bad top laner. You like Kindle Gem better. See,
but
Black Cleaver used to build out of Phage and Warhammer, and you know why? Because Warhammer was a better item for bruisers because you want damage, not health, when you're playing Riven, when you're playing Darius. But then they changed it to Kindle Gem, which nerfed them, and it nerfed assassins too. So if you like Kindle Gem, that's because you're a bad top laner who can't fight other top laners.
I don't mind Kindle Gem because it's cheaper for me, especially if I'm playing jungle and I want Black Cleaver.
Okay.
I don't have the gold for it. I can easily just go Kindle Gem and like have my rotations up faster.
Phantom Dancer is annoying as shit because it is both worse and better. Worse in the sense that like late game on Yasuo it's worse, and on Tryndamere it's worse now because you're just gonna forget to ult. But late game on Yasuo the damage reduction was better. But it's gonna be better in the sense that every time I play a burst champion into Yasuo now, early game is going to be miserable, and he scales up anyways, so it's going to be fucking hard to deal with him if he still goes that item. It receives some attack speed nerfs. And also 80 carries, just getting a free fucking barrier off that item is going to be annoying as shit. So good thing I don't play Assassins anymore.
Yeah. Assassin have a sad time. Like the only ones that can exist around this is probably Kha'Zix because Kha'Zix can burst, stealth, and just wait it out.
Yeah, Kha'Zix is a lot of utility. Lissandra
like your jungle assassins are fine in this matchup, but I don't think your mid lane assassins are
Scion
garbage.
changes won't do anything at low elo. They might do a bit at competitive. I think mostly though solo queue when Scion gets played against champions that can like abuse his cooldowns because of the W increase. The Q will hurt because they nerfed the max damage on the Q. But it's mostly like the extra 4 seconds trading him that he doesn't have shield, especially in something like the Fiora early game matchup. His shield was super important.
Because he can.
Like remember how many times I solo killed Fiora as Scion? Because like they would always fuck up and fight me because I would get my shield back up, but
or your friend Daniel feeding that
this
side
extra
on that
4
one game.
seconds is brutal. Zyra changes.
Not that big of a deal. Like
these
maximum your plants.
Yeah, these aren't. Oh, but it's because the plants attack multiple times. But
yeah,
it. I don't know. Is it that big of an effect? I know Zyra's plants do a lot, but at the same time, like I feel like her base damages for her other abilities are still pretty decent.
Because my logic behind this is like if you get 2, like because on average Zyra would get 2 plants, right? Mm-hmm. On average per ability.
So you get like 4 attacks off, pretty much.
That's 4 attacks off. That's minus 16 damage, but you're still getting the spell damage in. The plant damage.
Yeah, so by percentage, it's like actually not that much then.
Yeah, okay. It's like I think 10% if anything, but it's not the worst in the world. So you're spamming the shit out of it. Plus comment landing, I think Zyra's fine.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to go over. Anything else, guys? Anything else you guys want to talk about for this? We went over a good amount of stuff this episode.
How about it? Yeah.
The running time is 1 hour 14 minutes, so this has been a pretty long episode. But any final words for the viewers? Doesn't have to be a topic, just final words.
No, that's about it. Just-
Smash that thumbs up button.
Yeah, sub to Jack.
Leave a comment.
Best content creator.
I am actually.
Watch his videos.
Watch my Hearthstone and League videos because I'm really good. Follow my Twitter, dog. Anyways, so where can the fans find you guys?
You can find me on my stream at twitch.tv/lawsofphysix.
What do you do, Laws of Physics?
I coach lower elos.
Coach. Huh.
I'm still waiting for my coaching.
Yeah, I've been fucking busy, dude. You can find me on Twitter at lawsofphysix, and I'm trying to start up doing like educational streams for like jungle pathing and stuff like that. But yeah,
Alright.
that's where you find me.
And your Twitter?
I already said that.
Oh, yeah.
lawsophysics.
Okay. Where can
Wow,
they find
dog,
you,
thanks for
Will?
paying
What
attention
do
to
you do?
Twitch.tv/Skieco, twitter.com/Skieco_.
What do you do, Will? What is your?
What do I do on
Yeah.
my stream?
Yeah.
I
He
play
shit talks
games.
Kevin.
I play games with my friends and I yell at them while I play poorly.
Okay.
Oh, yep.
Well, anyways,
Go ahead.
this is Jack here. Sub to my YouTube, sub to my Twitch. I don't really do anything on Twitch except for stream this shit. Follow my Twitter because I love tweeting shit out. But yeah, other than that, this is slashff episode 4. And this is going to be Jack signing out.